Welcome to another episode of the JGTV Top 10 Video Countdown, where we count down the hottest trending videos, cover the latest pop culture news, shine a light on an older video, and highlight an artist you should be paying attention to. And this week is kind of an eventful week, because Ariana makes her impact, we have a retirement, the first one in a while, so strap in, because this episode might be a good one. But let's get into the countdown, kicking things off at number 10, falling 4 spots from last week. Here's Normal by BTS.
Show me hate, show me love, make me bulletproof, yeah, we call this thing.
Now the number 10 video, Normal by BTS. Let's continue with the countdown with this week's number 9. Holding its position from last week, here's Earrings by Malcolm Todd.
Extra, extra, read all about it, magazines, feelings,
And keeping things moving with our number 8, rising 2 spots, here's Stupid Song by Olivia Rodrigo.
Walking through the park with my head high, lost all the college girls.
And now is our number 8 video, Stupid Song by Olivia Rodrigo. Let's take a break from the countdown and get to this week's pop culture news, and we have quite a bit to talk about. First up, we have basically a 2-in-1 story involving Cat's Eye. The global girl group is gearing up for the release of their third EP, Wild. The project features 6 tracks, including the previous release Pinky Up and Animal, along with new songs Hootie Fruity, Bel Air, and That Way. That's not all. Cat's Eye is also hitting the big screen with their new documentary, Cat's Eye Wild Hearts. The film takes fans behind the scenes of the group's rise to global pop stardom, featuring never-before-seen footage, fan-submitted videos, and intimate interviews with the members. The documentary begins its limited theatrical release worldwide on August 12th. So, being a new EP, a new documentary, Cat's Eye is definitely making this week a wild one for icons. And like I said, this is a 2-for-1 story, because this involves this never-ending soap opera with Hype Geffen. Sophia, who is recognized as the group's leader, announced on August 7th that she's temporarily taking a hiatus for her health and well-being. Her label Hype Geffen said Sophia has been advised to take an extended time to rest and recover, with the condition expected to be reassessed in September. And that makes Sophia the second Cat's Eye member to take a hiatus this year, following Manon, who stepped away from group activities in February to focus on her health and well-being. And there's been plenty of speculation online on what's exactly happening to Manon, especially since she's been away for months. And there's been no official confirmation that if she's returning or she's leaving the group. In fact, the remaining members have repeatedly said they want to give Manon the time and space she needs, and that door remains open for her to return. And now with Sophia also temporarily out, Cat's Eye has been performing as a 4-member group, with the rest of the members carrying on scheduled group activities. Obviously, we don't know exactly when either member will return, but we do wish Sophia the best as she focuses on her health, and the same goes for Manon too. Hopefully we see them both back in the future. Moving on to Beyonce, as she's facing legal action over the opening of her song Alien Superstar from her 2002 album Renaissance. The lawsuit centers around the spoken word sample heard at the beginning, and the sample comes from Moonraker, a 1998 house track by John Holiday, better known as Foremost Poets. Shuji Hirose and his company, Hirose Enterprise, claim that they own the rights to the recording and allege that Beyonce's team used the sample without properly licensing it from them. Now, this case actually has a little history. Hirose previously sued Beyonce companies over the same sample, but the lawsuits were dismissed in June after a judge ruled that Hirose's company did not legally exist when the original lawsuit was filed. So the latest development essentially brings the Alien Superstar sample controversy back into the spotlight. Beyonce and her team has maintained that the sample was properly cleared, so now we have to see where the latest legal battle goes, because apparently even 4 years after Renaissance, Alien Superstar still has some legal troubleshooting to do. But let's get back into the countdown this week at number 7. Returning to the countdown after a few weeks away, here's Self-Aware by Temper City.
No smoke with no fire, no silence if there's no sound.
And that's our number 7 video, Self-Aware by Temper City. At number 6, rising 1 spot, here's Janice Shut the F Up by Drake, and it's retirement week. This video spent its first 2 weeks at the number 1, and spent most of its run in the top half of the countdown. It also becomes the second rap song to retire from this countdown. So after a pretty impressive run, let's say farewell to Janice Shut the F Up by Drake.
Buried alive, someone couldn't dig me up. If I call up your shawty right.
Now that we're halfway through the countdown, let's pause the countdown and shine a light on our throwback video of the week. And this week we're flashing back to the COVID year known as 2020 with How You Like That by Blackpink. Released in June 2020, How You Like That became one of Blackpink's biggest hits, topping the charts around the world and breaking multiple YouTube records at the time of its release. And here's something you might have forgotten. This song won the VMA for Song of the Summer in 2020, somehow. And 5 years later, How You Like That still feels like the perfect summer anthem to the Pinks. So for this week's throwback video, here's How You Like That by Blackpink.
Look at you now, look at me. Look at you now, look at me. Look at you now.
That was our throwback video of the week, How You Like That by Blackpink. Let's jump back into the countdown. Coming in at number 5, falling 2 spots, here's Iconic by Mistake by the Hype Girls. Now it's our number 5 video, Iconic by Mistake by the Hype Girls. Moving on to number 4, holding its position after release of her album, here's Hate That I Made You Love Me by Ariana Grande. That's our number 4 video, Hate That I Made You Love Me by Ariana Grande. Let's pause the countdown again and shine a light on our Rising Star of the Week. And this week, we're having a spotlight on Audrey Hobart. And if that name sounds familiar, it should, because Audrey is the sister of Malcolm Todd, who we just saw earlier in the countdown for Earrings. But Audrey is carving out a name for herself as a singer and songwriter. Before launching her own music career, Hobart was already making a name for herself behind the scenes. She co-wrote several songs with her childhood friend Gracie Abrams, including the massive hit That's So True. She eventually stepped into the spotlight herself, releasing her debut album Who's the Clown in 2025, which featured the songs like Sue Me, Bowling Alley, and Wet Hair, and she's signed to RCA Records. She's been building momentum last year with festival appearance and her first major tour, making 2026 an important year in her rise as a solo artist. So while Malcolm Todd is already making noise on the countdown, don't be surprised if you start hearing a lot more from his sister. So with that, here's our Rising Star of the Week with Sue Me by Audrey Hobart. And that was our Rising Star of the Week, Sue Me by Audrey Hobart. And before we continue with the countdown, a quick reminder that this week's Top 10 Playlist Highlights is available now. The playlist updates every Sunday and help give these videos even more views and exposure. So make sure you check it out. Moving on to number 2, holding its position, let's stay with Cat's Eye for a bit with Animal.
You're the boss, you run the circus, baby. Take it up a notch.
Now it's our number 2 video, Animal by Cat's Eye. And before we reveal our top pick, let's recap numbers 10 through 2.
Kerosene, dopamine, chemical induced fantasy of fire in your head, you lost your earrings.
Which song could ever say I'm a heart made of wax and a mountain?
I wish that I could lie, but my mind can't. Baby, call my phone and say you need me.
It's like all you do, breakfast to dinner. I hate that I made you love me. You're out of control, but I see a side behind.
Out the way, it's time to reveal our number 1 video, and for our 9th week in a row, it's Die Die by Shakira and Burna Boy.
Again.
And that was our number 1 video this week, Die Die by Shakira and Burna Boy. As always, this countdown is based on YouTube views along with performance on the Billboard Global 200. And that wraps up another episode of the JGTV Top 10 Video Countdown. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. The following was a JGTV production. Thanks for watching.
You gotta be careful when you pick fights.